nobody like me. Round here, if you slip, you get your hot one. One shot, but a couple of them down one. Belvedere in the rear of the club, pull up on dubs, and we about to go and buy the bar up. So, for sure we ain't playing, hang with no lames, walk insane. Hey, where the party at? Girls is on the way with a Bacardi at. Yes, we do. Models and models talking all of that. No, I can't forget about my club. Where the party at? And all my girls. Where the party at? I'm in the club. Where the party at? If the party's where you're at, let me say, oh, 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 best outfit, just showing that skin, trying to make it on the spin. Where you been, girl? You and your friend need to come to the back. We got it locked down. Your white t-shirt or a three-piece suit, don't matter what you wear. All that matters is who you with. Some jiggy and some straight down. All up in the club just to have a good time. Hey, we got a party. Girls is on the way with a Bacardi act. Models and models talking all of that. No, I can't forget about my club. Where the party at? And all my girls. Where the party at? I'm in the club. Where the party at? If the party's where you're at, let me hear you say, oh, 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 party's where you're at, let me shake it. Your party is dirty. Someone wears striking right around 1:30. Never get the truth, they coming as is. Do rags and Tim, I'm rolling fast is. This little jagged bends with the roll, not the one with the stem, the one with the rim, the one that seem to make more enemies than friends. I'm sliding in past those, both eyes closed, both arms rose, both jaws rose with the S-O-S-O-D-E, top there, fire bottle, up to the aim gun live. I'm quick to go left, I plays with no rep, I jams mode and death, baby, show me the club. I'm like, hey, whatever party at, come and mix it with the twist, baby, what's wrong with that? We in the VIP twisted, downright spiffy, two-way, two-legged like a missile. Hey, where the party at? Girls is on the way with a Bacardi at. Models and models talking all of that. No, I can't forget about my club. Where the party at? And all my girls. Where the party at? I'm in the club. Where the party at? If the party's where you're at, let me hear you say, oh, 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 come on. The party's where you're at, let me hear you say, oh, 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 oh. jump the boogie to the bang bang boogie, how you banging in your body, don't you? That's why I flip the script to the boogie bang banging. If I'm banging, it's the GBG. Some do the things that they do because they love, and some do the things that they do for crumbs. I do mine for me, you see, not the big homie double OG. Scared to do your own work, man, that's facts. And that's the reason why I had to shoot you down, because you never should have tried to work my dog. And the little homie wouldn't have had no reason to fall. Y'all know the game ain't the same no more. Little G's keep beats, so big G's freeze G's. Johnny Rockefeller went to Della. You time to nigga if you can't tell her the seller. Nigga dreams if you want them, but they won't say you the game to get up on them. You try to find them, cause you want them, they shook out, get the book out. And when the pitch come, nigga, look at it. It ain't hard to pump up the little homie, nigga, but it's hard for your bitch ass to get with us. But it's thick, you put it in their head that at 13 they had all day. I'ma jump the bang to the bang, 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 that's why I flip the script to the bang, 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 if I'm banging, it's the GBG. They say up, jump the bang to the bang, 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 that's why I flip the script to the bang, 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 if I'm banging, it's the GBG. Hey, yo, Snoop, all the niggas get into the bracket and making them niggas want shit. Spitting like you supposed to be from the hood. Show me love, nigga, don't show me shit. Feel the fever, $1 million bill like overseas. Made a non-believing man that you would believe it. Receive it, check the next day home and say it's the way to get paid. These easy made.
Mic drop, mic drop. 14%. We're on the countdown. Remember, start in about 10 minutes. Thank you for your patience.
Just what we need, banging on wax, another trick. What you gon' do, nigga, jack the mother shit? You're like an actor with another script, predictable as Rambo with another clip. How many niggas you gon' kill in your verse? You need to sit down and learn to get down first. What's up? Real cool fingers, that's how slingers, not part-time FBI slingers. Niggas having bad intentions, sending BGs on a mission. One move too many, nigga, you miss it. Listen, you fuck with the psycho, like no loony ass nigga from your H-double-O-D. Niggas got too close from all the sex they toss me. And guess what it cost me? They cost me. But before I give a nigga a 9, I'd rather give a nigga a mic and write your rhymes. That's why I flip the script to the boogie bang bang. If I'm banging, it's the GBG. They say up, jump the boogie to the bang bang. That's why I flip the script to the boogie bang bang. If I'm banging, it's the GBG. Jump the boogie to the bang bang. That's why I flip the script to the boogie bang bang. If I'm banging, it's the GBG. that's what I like, that's what I like. Sex by the fire at night, silk sheets and diamonds, all white. Lucky for you, that's what I like, that's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like, that's what I like. Talking trips to Puerto Rico, say the word and we go. You can be my flica, girl, I'll be your flica. Mama sister, I would never make a promise that I can't keep. I promise that just my leg will never leave. Shopping sprees in Paris, every day 24 carats. Take a look in that mirror, now tell me who's the fairest. Is it you? Is it you? Is it me? Is it me? Say it's us, say it's us, and I agree, baby. Jump in the Cadillac, girl, let's put some miles on it. Anything you want. When the sun shines again, we are one, we will win. When the sun shines again, we are one, we will win.
I was born, son of a hellier, so I received the gospel. Told to go spell it and bring it back to Chicago. Rhymes from Sabo, from the street apostles. The big payback for the dollar that I borrow. Bust raps for tomorrow, where the guns clap and go bravo. My pops was a genie living in a bottle. Light and dark in us, I own Vitiligo. In Pentecostal Chicago, bravado and bravery. We went from cargo and slavery to God flow, they paid to see. And took agency for what we made to be. With no reservations, I sit niggas down like a maitre d'. Money ain't swaying me, that's the day to me. Some took shots over bars, they ain't grazing me. The way I move from A to B, they hate to see the hawkers sing a song for me to live gratefully.
Shines again, we are one, we will win. When the sun shines again, we are one, we will win.
We here to win. Yo, I'm not the life of the party, I'm aspiring to the cause that align with the laws. When you tally the assessment of where lyrically best win, it's me and all fours. So they say that I'm a goat, but that I do ignore, cause the goat can be slaughtered and cooked up, curry and ate up in a hurry, and that I can afford, but never ignore the fact. Me and calm is part something from the Quran and maybe part Corinthians. Part nigga like that group you Burundi, or wasn't. Either way, knock them down by the dozen while the cheers we're hearing. They understand the wealth is the vehicle and knowledge be the steering wheel. The sun
Shines again, we are one, we will win. When the sun shines again, we are one, we will win.
I sat in the wind and knew not to pretend. So many stories in the grin, the auditorium of him. I'm him. Even when the world didn't hear me, I had to spell it out like KRS did Jimmy. The J, the I go hard like it is to say goodbye. You don't want beef when the stakes is high. Before I took off, I had to pray to fly. My faith and I keep one eye open. I'm the black Jack Sparrow. The God in the details, I rap that thorough. And listen to women and give them biofeedback. They need that and still lay pipe like 3 stacks. Over these tracks, I relapse like a dope fiend sprinter. Who's talking about snow, but he don't mean winter. The sun shines again, what's due is all praises. Spit bars, get my people out of cages.
Shines again, we are one, we will win. When the sun shines again, we are one, we will win.
Stop. seeker, me especially. The her I'm talking about right now is destiny. She and I were supposed to meet to chop it up. I wanted to ask her in life why I was getting stuck many times. She said some of that was in my mind, and grind plus the right time equals divine. Ask if I would see a sign where I'm supposed to be. She said just be free and get close to me. Destiny to get dough, you got the recipe, and I'ma need a baker giving you the best of me. I got you a spot where I didn't know if you were true. With so many voices, how do I know when it's you? She said I met you, boy, when you was 10 years old. That rap that I gave you was a part of your soul. Anytime you feel that, know that it's gold. Stick with me and your story will forever be told by many people.
What's up, Mic Drop? Welcome to the 418 Project. We're gonna get this thing started. This is serious business. New shit. The heart. Don't you just love your heart? Majestic, poignant, and supreme. The way that it keeps on beating, even when love is fleeting. Sometimes when it's breaking, oftentimes even when it's broken. And aching is persistent. Your heart remains resilient. Resisting the temptation to give up, giving one grace, gratitude, and favor. The power of the heart is definitely immense and immeasurable. It's hard to measure the power of the heart. Through the gain and loss of love, even through the pain of loss, the heart itself is impressive. The beauty of the organ is impeccable. The heart is powerful and pleasing, regardless of what's happening in the world. The way that it keeps us going, keeping us focused and flowing, not knowing what tomorrow will bring. Oftentimes, even when it's broken, the heart itself remains intact. Sometimes, when it's breaking, the way that it keeps on beating to the rhythm of the invisible, processing grief and gratitude, the heart is quite deceiving. To hear the sound of your own heart is definitely quite powerful and pleasing. The heart can be captured by another, while at the same time, it can be set free. I know that within my lifetime, my heart has been broken 1,000,000 times over, captured, released, and shattered. And yet I love the amazing way, the way in which it keeps on beating, palpitating, pulsating, and pushing through the trials, tribulations, triggers, and triumphs this life often brings us each and every day. And just when you think the heart is done, it breaks open and makes room for more. The heart. Yeah. Welcome to Mic Drop. Welcome to Mic Drop. We're gonna get into this list. But first, we want to thank you guys for being here. And we're going to bring the first person to the stage. Give it up for Willow Cats, please. Give it up for Willow Cats.
I'm going to start with poems by Mossab Abu Toha, Palestinian poet, the author of 2 books of poetry, Forest of Noise, this year, and Things You May Find Hidden in My Ear, poems from Gaza, 2022. That's what I'm going to read from. So, well, it's a little dark here. Okay.
I can give you like.
I think we have, what happened to that land? It's probably in other view.
Turn them off here.
Okay.
How's that here?
That's very helpful, yes. Leaving childhood behind. When I left my childhood in the drawer, and on the kitchen table, I left my toy horse in its plastic bag. I left without looking at the clock. I forget whether it was noon or evening. Our horse spent the night alone. No water, no grains for dinner. It must have thought we'd left to cook a meal for late guests, or to make a cake for my sister's 10th birthday. I walked with my sister down our road with no end. We sang a birthday song. The warplanes echoed across the heavens. My tired parents walked behind, my father clutching to his chest the keys to our house and to the stable. We arrived at a rescue station. News of the airstrikes roared on the radio. I hated death, but I hated life too, when we had to walk to our drawn-out death, reciting our never-ending ode. Next one is, what is home? What is home? It is the shade of trees on my way to school before they were uprooted. It is my grandparents' black and white wedding photo before the walls crumbled. It is my uncle's prayer rug where dozens of ants slept on wintry nights before it was looted and put in a museum. It is the oven my mother used to bake bread and roast chicken before a bomb reduced our house to ashes. It is the cafe where I watched football matches and played. My child stops me. Can a 4-letter word hold all of these? And my grandfather was a terrorist. My grandfather was a terrorist. He tended to his field, watered the roses in the courtyard, smoked cigarettes with grandmother on the yellow beach, lying there like a prayer rug. My grandfather was a terrorist. He picked oranges and lemons, went fishing with brothers until noon, sang a comforting song en route to the farriers with his piebald horse. My grandfather was a terrorist. He made a cup of tea with milk, sat on his verdant land as soft as silk. My grandfather was a terrorist. He departed his house, leaving it for the coming guests, left some water on the table, his best, lest the guests die of thirst after their conquest. My grandfather was a terrorist. He walked to the closest safe town, empty as the sullen sky, vacant as a deserted tent, dark as a starless night. My grandfather was a terrorist. My grandfather was a man, a breadwinner for 10, whose luxury was to have a tent with a blue UN flag set on the rusting pole on the beach next to a cemetery. And then I'm going to read one very little thing by me. Ocean. Ocean, mar, sea, Sargasso Sea, Caribe, a sea of emotion and sound, feelings, sentimientos, body, ears, heart, mind, see with eyes, see with yous, collective, live together, apart, to the moon, from the favela in Brazil, Mumia Abu Jamal's tribute to the poor in money, not in spirit, not in love. Rich ocean full of spirit, rich ocean full of love. Rique, rico, rica, riquex in spirit, in love.
Give it up for the cast, please.
Yeah.
Give it up, show some love. Come on.
Welcome Collective Epiphany to the stage, please. Welcome Collective Epiphany.
Lost generation, fast-paced nation, world population confront their frustration. The principles of true hip-hop have been forsaken. It's all contractual and about money making. Pretend to be cats, don't seem to know their limitation. Exact replication and false representation. You wanna be a man, then stand your own. To MC requires skills, I demand some show. I let the lords keep fronting and growing like a cellular phone far from home. Giving crowds what they wantin'. Official hip-hop consumption, the fifth trumpet, keeping your heart.
All right. Mic drop familia. How you doing tonight? All right. Want to give a big shout out for Brian and Jesse and Jason and Greg and the whole mic drop familia. Thank you so much. We love you for doing this. We're going to do a poem tonight, a short poem. Then we're going to do an instrumental song called Sojourn in 7/8. Sojourn in 7/8 was very special to me, not just because it's got a crazy beat signature. I composed it when I was hiking in Big Sur with my drum, Spiritus, right here. And I was hiking on some old Essalon land, and I found a midden. Does anybody here know what a midden is? Okay, a couple people do. A midden is a shell mound where the ancient indigenous people used to leave the shells, the shellfish that they harvested by the ocean. And I was walking, and I discovered this midden, and this beat hit me when I was standing there and climbing around and stuff, and that's where this song that I'm going to do, Sojourn in 7/8, comes from. And I want to dedicate that to the ancient Essalon people of Big Sur.
Do you turn him up?
He's on.
Yeah, it's trying to be set. Less and more. They make their mark and enclose the light. Look in the dark, it's burning bright. Barriers rise, barriers fall. Even gods die despite our call. If by that dark you spy the sun, what then might you do? A time to mark, a time now come, now to break on through. All right, mic drop familia. Thank you so much. Stay around. We got a lot more talent coming right up. All right. Give it up for Collective Epiphany. We're gonna let that song play for Lorenz now. I hope y'all ready for a dope feature tonight. Cause somebody bad like showed up. So yeah. Tell everybody that. You got more than 5 minutes. You can go as long as you like. Until the DJ turn on the music. That's the cue for you to walk off stage. But yeah, I was gonna do a poem, but I'm not. Cause I'm gonna introduce the next person. Then I'll do a poem. Give it up for Cloud9 coming to the stage. Give it up for Cloud9. Due to some technical difficulties, we're gonna do a poem right now, and maybe I'll do the memorized if my memory works. One. Simply show them all shade until deemed worthy of receiving your light. Do not take this action out of spite. It is more an act of self-preservation. Because sometimes it's better to be a nation of one. Two, epiphany. We play with people's hearts too much.
Too much.
Always acting like they're bulletproof. We say, I love you, and then lie to their face in the broad daylight. Only to shut off the lights and speak the truth. Always acting like
They're bulletproof. We play with people's hearts too much. 3, teardrop, a haiku. Have you ever felt a teardrop from your third eye? Asking for a friend. 3 poems about life, love, and reality. You ready?
Smooth
Welcome,
delivery
Cloud9,
speed.
to the stage.
Cloud9 to the stage. Cloud9.
How's everybody doing? Good sound quality, sounds great. We're gonna freestyle tonight.
Let's do it.
So I'm getting like a chill vibe, kind of like a goofy vibe, so we're gonna keep it chill and goofy.
Cloud9 came early and helped us put this whole stage together.
Yeah.
Oh!
We didn't
Thank
even
you,
ask
thank
him
you.
to.
Everybody in the back, make some noise. Yeah. Everybody in the 831, go and put your hands up if you wanna have some fun. Everybody in the 831, go and put your hands up if you wanna have some fun. Look, I keep it creative, I keep it stable. I'm in a stable like my name was Abel, and I'm able to produce. Anybody wanna tie the noose around my neck? Yo, just chill, yeah, my people did it too. Yeah, I don't give up what you've been through unless you come to me on some real honesty stuff. I take a selfie in the mirror and I think I'm buff, yeah. I'ma buff out the smooth edges. I'ma keep it real crispy clean like I've been real me since day one. Like my boy in the fedora, he got a 4-door and I really adore him. And Jessie, you know she keeps it real smooth behind the turntables. Yeah, you know what she been through. And I let God speak through me now. Like I invite you into this town, clean up my streets and let this evil go. And let me take you to the next show.
Yeah.
Claudio. I'll bite that beat. Just the next beat I'll call, I don't know, I found it on YouTube. Yeah. Hey, homeboy, what's your name again? What's your name? In the white shirt?
Greg.
What's his name again? What's his name? Greg Grayson. Yo, my boy Greg, he came in with the fire. Nobody could ever deny it. Yeah. And I checked the weather outside, it's looking real cloudy. Everybody on these streets, they might doubt me. Everybody on the team, they might frown. But I tell them, you gon' have to wait a while, cause it's my turn, yeah, it's my turn. Everybody might yearn, but I tell them, don't trip on me, yeah. Dance to the beat, chug to my feet. I wear a suit and tie and came from the streets. Sundays I go to church because I might be scared of what a dude might do to me in the lurking alleys, and I don't really care about murder unless you. Damn, that's some deep shit like God just spoke to me. I don't really like to touch on touchy subjects. I really had to dance around and it's messing up my energy, but let's talk about it. Yeah, I know we got some trauma as a people. Can we really say that we gotta keep it equal? I don't really know what to say next, so I'ma pass the mic to the next artist. Thank you. And this is more for me than it is for you guys, honestly, so thanks.
Yeah. That's the way it works.
Love y'all.
What defines my name? What defines my name? NAS. What defines my name?
GC.
live forever means victory. Help a whole aim means protector. Shorten it by 2 letters without the IR at the end. The reincarnated Gil Scott living in a bottle again. The World Cup in Moscow with a blonde for 10. Vape pen when I speak is like a lottery win.
Oh my God. So yeah, we don't know where speed is, so I'm just gonna do a poem because Jesse asked me to. So yeah. I'm gonna try and do one I haven't done for a while. So if I just like.
Wait a minute, don't you run a mic?
Oh yeah, I run an open mic every Wednesday at 11th hour. Come see me.
11th hour.
Yeah, 11th hour, Center Street. Shows from 6:30 to 7. Sign-ups are at 6:30. We do a featured artist from 6:30 to 7. Shows 7 to 9. So come see me. Sign up. Our attendance has been real low. I think it's just the weather's changing. I don't know. I got no excuses. All right. So. No, what's this? What's that? All right. Survival is insufficient. It's insignificant. We deserve magnificent. The conscious best for all the rest, the entirety of humanity, not just you and me and a small minority that floats our power and money on a sea of us and we, the people, raised under a mass media steeple. They've been calling us sheeple, but they never forgot. But we never forgot. The fox doesn't fuck with flocks. They single you out, fill you with doubt, but we're gonna scream and we'll shout because it's a justified majority, a herd mentality that wants a new society. No more gig slavery or takeout delivery. It's all poison shit and we're all done with it. We're sick of fascist reactionists handing us a cup of piss and calling it bliss. Like it is what it is and we can't resist the social media biz and the next ad blitz for fast fashion that fits all our broken bits. But we won't quit stirring up shit, because this isn't it. The world's got somewhere to go from here. No need to fear or sow division. What's humanity's mission? If we all talk and listen, realize we got the same vision. A world economy that doesn't look like a prison. Because we are living in a third world war. It's the rich versus the poor. And there's hope knocking at our door, and it's time to shift, and I don't know what's next. But capitalism has failed the test, just like all the rest. And if this is a simulation, where's the button to reset? All right, give it back to Speed over here.
Wait, BC, can you have that microphone to Suzanne, who's gonna tell everybody about the nice fancy little tablet she has?
If it works, it reaches.
Let's pray this works.
So I think most people already signed in, but there's a new procedure with the 418 that anybody that comes in this building needs to sign in on the tablet that I have. And the purpose of the signing in is not only to monitor who's in the building, but also it helps them when getting grants. So the first time you sign in, it asks for your phone number, your email, and your name, and then every time following that, you'll just put your phone number in and it'll say welcome back. So it's really easy. But if anybody that is here has not signed in, please sign in with me before you leave tonight. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's like a real important thing. This place was bought by government money, but through arts funding. And I don't know if y'all know about the arts and the government, but they don't pay a lot of money to get stuff. So, that's dope, yeah. Yeah, so putting your name on that list will definitely help it out. Okay, all right, so I'm just gonna roll into this. But yeah, I'm not telling you to put a fake name on it to boost their numbers either, because that'd be wrong. But the more money that gets into this place, proving they're doing what they got their grant for is actually really great for our community. So if you could, that'd be great. And with no further ado, apparently, Doug Miller is up next. A friend of mine from the dance community and other things, so welcome all up here.
Send me over, and I'ma split the prayer, learn that for Jehovah. My lungs got your ass on, big for that motion. Got more get on guys when they're running the ocean. Still learn how to drive,
Hey y'all. I'm gonna read a poem about coyote bush. Y'all know about coyote bush? It's a native California plant. It's called Baccharis pilolaris. Branches with bushy tails send seeds into the wind toward the fertile margins.
bushy tails californicating behind the abundant dumpsters at Whole Foods. The fate of future generations is vulnerably trusted with the weather and geology of place. Woody, gnarly, and resilient, the beauty of coyote brush's unadorned vitality is lost on some who seek exotic blossoms of some faraway magazine cover to enhance their optically nature-connected selves. It's treated by many urban gardeners as a weed that defies a color palette from a horde of tortured AutoCAD design that glows dimly behind a well-funded screen. City people often fear the untamed. They trap their potted plants and inbred canines in the same climate-controlled habitual habitats. Plastic-wrapped fertilizer for all, an ecosystem of extracted excesses. The wilderness was considered by early religious colonialists to be where the devil hung out. That's partly how they justify genocide, clear-cutting forests, and extermination regimes in the New World. They got a lot of coyotes, but not all of them. The thriving rat populations are a blessing from the zealous conversion of indigenously tended landscapes into the anthropocentric, monotheistic marketplace. Thickets formed by a coyote bush are important habitat for California's state bird, the quail, who officially went extinct in San Francisco several years ago. Coyote brush thrives by being cut or occasionally burned. The coyote in American Indian mythology was always willing to be killed if it looked like fun or sometimes to help others. He would then put himself back together with whatever he found lying around, coyote brush branch for a leg, dried scat for an eye, etc. Emerging in dry, barren edges, content with what is, and being a sanctuary for the vulnerable and unseen. The wild rests and waits in deep time. The rat race loses to itself, leaving a half-eaten surplus of chaos for dinner. We went to Costco. Is it Costco? Yeah. Do you like Costco? This poem's about Costco. So much heavy stuff over my head. So much over my head, heavy stuff. So much heavy head over my stuff. My senses spin up and down through the aisles, leaving my capacity for slow empathy frozen at the front entrance. The shoelaces of my heart unravel as I wander unsupported through the frigid marketplace, tripping on everything. The rapid rate of acquisitions would make any undiscerning thief swoon. The volumes and pounds of the Earth's precious blood measured in carbon float around with a force that could be considered a geological miracle. Millions of years from now, there may be rainbow veins of compressed Legos and other impulse buy trinkets streaking through slowly moving rock. There will be plenty for mushrooms to eat. Beyond picking and choosing, the capacity to digest oil, plastic, and bone will flourish in post-industrial banquets. The legacy of trash and deliciously abundant petrochemicals will be silently sung about by all the fun guys who happily meander through the decay.
Go ahead.
You guys like yarrow? Turtles? This one's about turtles and yarrow, both boundary energy. So turtle yarrow medicine. I actually stabbed myself in the arm the other day and found some yarrow and fixed myself up real fast. So if you're bleeding, yarrow, so good. Okay, my orientation to the middle way is seen as extreme in a society ensconced in climate-controlled comforts reserved for princes and princesses. My North Star of continuing to live as a slowly evolving human on Earth is seen as falling behind in a society attempting to colonize a distant, uninhabitable fireball after not being able to figure out how to live in harmony on resilient soil with rivers, clouds, and oceans. My sustenance is attained each day by wandering around outside for a little while, looking down, sometimes up, and noticing the Earth's love language of feeding all beings. That's been called unrealistic by a society whose flavor palette has been colonized by sugar, caged animals, and monoculture processed foods, whose dubious realities are conveniently obscured by colorful plastic wrappers and shadowy government subsidies. My work with just strengthening relationships through the restoration of health and wholeness to people and places is considered not a real job by a society that is fueled by an insatiable economic demon that turns forests into toilet paper, transforms ancestral carbon inheritance into oil spills, and jumps its young children into a relentless factory time rat race without pausing for a breath among rapidly rising teen suicide rates. My innate capacity to wake up by sitting in quiet each day is drowned in the cacophony generated by a society that on one side is anxiously obsessed with bottomless scrolling woke words, and on the other side is fearfully paralyzed by diseased old religions that have rationalized and justified slavery, genocide, extractive capitalism, and the nuclear family. My connection to tribe is said to be downgraded amongst a society slowly plugging all of its senses and sovereignty into disembodied screens and cavernous pit of limitless information that move at the speed of light, with million-dollar satellites and violently mined rare minerals from the Congo. My medicine that has evolved slowly in collaboration with the microbial, virological world over generations, like rings of an old tree, is censored as dangerous anti-science by a society that mandates experimental gene therapies less than a year old without control groups or the ability to openly question research. My heart and guts are warm and soft. As I swim deeper into the colder, darker waters of this collapsing mad society, like a turtle, my shell absorbs minerals of the decaying world around me, and I find peace and home wherever I am. Thank y'all. I've also got I make some little like comic books. They're like apocalypse tales. This one's about when the cars stop. It's kind of like a funny apocalypse story, but it's also how like we're like living the new world as the old world's gone. So it's like really gory and illustrated like a kid's book. So if you want those, I said $20 for them. So hit me up. Thank you.
I am going to read some poems.
Yeah. Give it up for Doug, please. Give it up.
Give it up for Doug. Was his name right, Doug? I want to give it up for everybody who straggled in here late and on time, all at the same time. Y'all are amazing and beautiful. I am excited about Lorenz giving us some deep dive into sincerity tonight with all of our emotions in tow. This gentleman, this king, this giant is inspiring and has meant a lot to those of us who run this mic over the years, and the fact that he's willing to throw down this evening means a lot to all of us, so it's a pleasure for us to share him with you. So for that, I feel like for Lorenz, I'm just going to read some random poems that perhaps I have not read in some time. This one's obviously because in a matter of weeks, we are going to change another threshold of elections. And the last time we crossed the threshold with Trump in the mix, I wrote a poem about election dues. And so I'm gonna read that poem. Election dues. It takes big bucks because the luck's with the clucks, with the cash, the stash of tucks in the pocket, that's the socket. The clock to set the rocket of success, luck's best with big bucks sucked and chucked in big. I shucked and jibed by ducks and dives in smoke-filled back rooms, company cars, bars and stars wave to wars of campaign cash. Politicos' noses shows they knows it grows on bottom lines and gas pump lines, and prices rise with doves' demise. The war's the star, and the star's on the cap of the man with the cup, and the cup has the cash, and the cash makes the man, and the man is the companies, and the company is measured by all the men it reaps. If you gotta go political, you ought to know the rules, 'cause it's the clues of the ruse that the ruler rules the fools. School's the tool that cues the jewels. That's the cruelest rule of ruses, raises the rows of purses roses, fills the pool of fuel he uses, but the one who sings the blues is he that blew the rule of ruses, drew the cruises of gruesome bruises, cries accrued until he boozes, 'cause the wisest rulers realize the rules rule the rulers, and the wily ruler rarely rules, relying on his muses. Skews the views of cute abuses, hews the noose of grew he fuses,
screws the few his crew accuses, whose neurosis fire the fuses. Stew the boos and don'ts and do's, and the ruler who peruses which issue best confuses when he waltz and wows and woos us. Rules the gooses why they chooses, or the news is he loses. I'm going to read this other poem that's a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna make a way for Lorenz to come on stage. I know a cozy nook in the galaxy where the wormholes meet to distort time and temperature and all things tangible and unimaginable. I saw it on an evening blistered with cold air of Friday when thinning ice grew roots under people's fingers. The clouds bloated, dropping white marbles that cracked open to become puddles over the streets, strangers shifting, moving and crossing with elbows compatible, draining into the 9 o'clock rush hour crowd. Many watched where they walked, skipping over scum and gum and piss and soiled ambitions, but some had their eyes off the earth, smacked through the stratosphere out of grasp. Those, some being like you and I know too that this is how we appear from the looking glass of outer space, exactly one leaf on the face of the parsley-colored world. I know that from the cozy nook in the galaxy they can see us, the swollen faces beneath our hats and the shape we make behind the curtain of nightfall. I know that from there they can tell that life on Earth is sudden, and not just because we're in the rain we never thought to bring an umbrella for, no. Life on Earth is sudden because the very place changes face, amphibious in its reflection. It is a surprise that anything could remain so constant in a planet that spins so quickly on its own tail. Hurry, pack a brown paper bag with what's important. First, take home your cheekbones tonight, 'cause I cannot sleep when they are in my head and in my palms and all over my sleeves and inches away. Then comb the quiet conversations off my shoulders, brush off the residue from the times you move your face too close to supplement your heedless hearing, or my handicap slurring, or the sound of traffic and humanity consecutively shitting all together. It took time to become accustomed to rejecting the thought that it may have only been pretense. This is where I clipped the fluctuating, fleeting former days to dry in the sun. I'll wring out the lost traces of every similar interest, spiced insult, and spittle of intelligent banter. We'll iron out the amazing humiliation, the unconditional mockery, the terrible effort for laughter, much unrequited. For the broad stretches of memories, flattening them out in the thinning shimmer of silken sheets, I'll cut them to make them socks so that you can walk in those moments whenever. Tie up the bundle where we've hidden the sparse few secrets, the dark insects with the wings that we tried to kill by never mentioning them again. Let's half the stock, take mine, but I will keep yours safe. When you find the jar where we kept those colorful beans that we had only hoped would sprout to reach heaven, keep it shut. Those dreams deserve to be planted on better soil. Pickle them, let them breathe in the brine, and you may spear them with toothpicks the next time you make martinis that taste like the bitter lives we lead. Look for the box full of coins that, when rattled, sings of morning celebrated differently and apart. And all the money you spent trying to find me when it was most inconvenient, keep the change. I know there isn't much in there for when it was that you saw me, but only so rarely. Be careful not to drop that tea tin, or it could cleave your toes. It is where I kept your words. The words that built and broke me. No, you're a survivor. And the words that were never spoken. Sorry, we hurt you. And the words that were only once yet mattered more than all the things you say every day. Stay a little while longer. You're welcome to grow here. Roll up the carpet we spilled ink into. Later, when you've arrived elsewhere, lay in it. Sleep in the terrifying things you've conquered and created, in the stories you contain. Too much butter and collapsible morals. Sink into the tide of scribbles. Watch them weather, neither fade nor waterproof. Finally, take the tiniest memory, the first one, and put it in your pocket. Let it tangle with all the rest of the smaller, more valuable things. Pay your fare with 3 seconds of it. Gamble with the next 20 heartbeats, or toss the last 20 minutes for chance. It's mostly lost, a hazy, muddled recollection of something neither of us can remember in the same way at all. It is a crucial turning point, though. The angle at which the chicken wire fence is twisted, then widened to unfurl a repetitive pattern of mesh that is meant to protect against minor winds and half-hearted intruders. It is when understanding began. that amid the unawareness of first impression that there was room for discovering a shade of green as dull as our own on the face of the parsley earth. I know that in a cozy nook in the galaxy, they can see everything. I know that in their stillness of wormholes and warped time and torn space, that everything floats in a thick current of curdled eternity, drawn off the stars and hot off the depths of the universe, only approximately 1,000-year drive from the face of the world. It's cozy there where you step out into the cosmos and disappear into the cul-de-sac of existence, a suspension of dead gas that remains what it was yesterdays and yesterdays and yesterdays ago. How it would be nice to be, again, choking on the sentiments of yesterdays and yesterdays and yesterdays ago. However, sentiment is toxic, and all is better on the sun-addled ground of this turning, dizzying earth where no two things can remain in the same place forever, and sentiment is but the air your lungs reject. There is no wormholes here, but our own feet will take us miles out into nowhere as easily. You are born solid, but slither living as a liquid water coursing between stones, dissolving matter in your wake, and bid farewell gaseous very soon fanned into the mix of everyone else until lost from the will of the naked eye. Whatever has been altered within the last full turn of the planet was a fragment of evolution. It is a change less than eager, though a change rarely left to marinate in regret. Strange to say that I am proud of what swift time and free-flowing measure has done to you, and what you have done to me. Strange to say, too, that I know it is true that sentiment is nauseous, for I have dined and bred and swallowed sentiment purpose for you, and I should know, and shall say, for all to be warned promptly, that sentiment is righteously what will kill me someday. Yet I would trade few matters to have the poison bled out of me. You shall be not to be immortal, aging in time with cobblestones, having been devoid of the substance. The ice that had grown roots under our fingers will melt back into our bones. You've packed your brown paper bag, so have I. Now wherever in the galaxy I may go, I will have what's important with me. Anywhere will be cozy, just as it was yesterday's and yesterday's and yesterdays ago. And perhaps, for you, it will be likewise. I can only wish you well.
Give it up for our DJ, please, Jason Marie. Give it up for the poet, Jason Marie. Coming to the stage right now, give it up for Peggy Simmons. Give it up for Peggy Simmons, please.
I hope I don't disappoint not being Lorenz. I think he's gonna get Lorenz. Yeah, my name's Peggy. I'm really grateful for this space. Those of you who've heard me read before know that I'm working on a collection of writing, short pieces that I did at the end of my mom's life. I'm almost done with it, I think. And these first pieces are from that.
When you're done, are you gonna feature here with your book?
Sure. Right. No problem.
I mean, we did see it come together.
It's true. I'd love to. Now I have to get it finished, huh?
Now you do.
All right.
You know,
I
we're
got you.
family.
Great. You know me. I was the one who forgot how you know me. You see me. You catch every lie. You know you want me well. You know you want your mind and cannot, too often, find it. You are not who you used to be proud of. You are not worried about dying in your sleep tonight, but say, if I do die, I want you all to know that I was happy. And later, after wanting to pray, you say, never underestimate how grateful I am for the life I've had. I don't know if you're talking to me or to God. I can't find myself. You say, I can't find myself. You say, I feel uncomfortable with not knowing what I'm doing, and that stresses me out. You say, sometimes I feel stopped because I'm not the person I think I am. I have gotten to the point where I feel the only real thing to do is to talk to you or be with you. No one faces me as squarely as you do. No one ever has, no one ever will. I feel a thorough being seen while being loved, even when you've lost yourself. How stunning. And this piece I wrote yesterday at a Day of the Dead workshop at the Ma. Again, grateful for all these spaces. And it may go into the book. To my mother's ring on my left middle finger. You travel with me as you traveled with her, taking part in every grip of the jar, every left turn of the steering wheel, every wipe of the brow, every shoelace tied, every hug. What can you tell me of her joy of life, of cutting flowers and filling bird feeders, of opening books and holding hands and long rests? Do you hold her skin cells and sweat still? Can your memories of her enter my pores, enter my dreams now I'm dreaming again? Can she speak through you? Do you know what she would advise me now, where to live, how to love myself, how to heal? She insisted I wear you while she still lived, took you back when her terror made her angry, gave you again to me when guided more by love than fear. I check every photo of her, making sure I wear you on the same finger, in the same direction, feeling the connection she promised with you. And just to show that I can write about something more than my mother, kind of. I often use other people's poetry as prompts. Other people's poetry. OPP, this is after, so I wrote this after reading Audre Lorde Stations. Some women wait. Some women pretend they are waiting for nothing. Can we be needed without needing? Can we love ourselves without being adored, pictured, framed? Can we be independent and not alone? I'll be honest, I hope he's lonely.
That part.
I hope he's lonely. He who didn't want to need me or be needed, but was grateful to use my stability for his balance. He who wanted some pretty, but not any sad. He who danced and smoked toward joy. 5 years, and this is his first poem. Never a poem about the shades of our skin together, about climbing each other, about the way he groaned when his nipples were nipped. I'm just warming up to write about my mother, not admitting to missing him. Don't misunderstand. He shut a door that I locked. Some women carry keys.
Yeah, Sam traveling, faster than light.
Give it up for Peggy, please. Give it up for Peggy. We're gonna keep going in this list. Coming to the stage. Give it up for Cat. All the way to the stage. Give it up for Cat.
My vision is blurred, still I see through you like binoculars. The path.
Lou. Long time wooer, first time poet, I guess. First time performer. First time poet. I wrote these back in January when I was here. I was kind of just listening to a bunch of guys. Busy night that night. A lot of people came out that night, but I don't know. I was just kind of like inspired, so I wrote some shit down. I need a cheat sheet because I don't have it memorized, and I don't care.
Amazing.
This one is titled Elon, Elon, Elon. Yeah. It goes, the supposed genius of tech. The world's richest man sure is a wreck. He wanted to be Tony, but he ended up Lex. He claimed to fight the power as he wrote the checks. He dipped right out of Cali, straight in the pets, then right back to Cali, because he knows we're the best. Got his worth from his daddy's emerald mine. Now his daughter don't even want his time. Then the man cried out he wasn't being heard. His solution to that was to bankrupt the bird. The man rescued 12 kids from a cave. Elin called him a pedo because he was jealous of the save. When will this man's bullshit finally come to an end? When will idolizing assholes stop being a trend?
Yeah.
Asshole. I have another one here, which is a little sillier. It starts off a little silly. I don't really remember how this one goes, so actually I'll just reel on it. Whatever. It's be fun. Starts off. Somebody once told me this was a land of the free. They weren't the sharpest tool in the shed. Now we're looking hella dumb as their middle finger flung, and we can't even afford bread. Well, what? We want a chorus? With this economy? Forced to stay behind while they're studying astronomy? They're leaving this earth for us to inherit, having spent 20 centuries with no intention of fucking sharing it. They're off to Mars to avoid consequences. Their bullshit actions making me lose my senses. Personally, I think we'll do some recompenses. We should start the 5th revolution after industrial, science, political information. This is the era of determination for the future of all generations, you know? But for that, we need to start finding a solution to the violence, hatred, racism, and pollution. With mindless misinformation plaguing the media, anger and greed fueling mass hysteria, all the while poisoning our minds like Amanita muscaria. Honestly, the next stop's the sanitarium. It's time to ingest some drugs that'll go straight to your cranium. So come on, pack your bags, we'll head there together, cleanse our minds, and break society's tether. Maybe then we'll find some tranquility and peace. Maybe then our problems will cease. Thank you.
Yeah. EMT for president.
Give it up for Cat. Could you tell that his partner is a rapper? He has some bars. He has some bars in there. Yes, he did. Yeah. We appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you. And I'm not gonna read a poem because we're gonna keep it moving and we're gonna get to our feature because y'all not ready. Coming to the stage. Give it up for my player partner, Lorenz. Let's go, Lorenz. Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Do you need the table or anything? Are you good? Lorenz, do you need the table?
Let's have fun. I am not sure what time it is now. It becomes tougher to decipher every time I skip these linears. Please, enter command. Enter mixtape. Accepted. Enjoy. As the deer longs for running streams, so
My sis Arlene brings a deer here tonight, and I will make space for it. Who is to say this deer is not ancestor? There is a deer in this poem. What I mean to say is there is a deer sharing this space with us now. I will bring my nose to this deer. May we all press our noses to this deer should it present itself to you. Share breath as we always have. We all become breath and recognize one another's existence, because how can we not celebrate this life before us, this life in us? There is a deer in this room. I will whisper to this deer names of all I miss in this physical realm. Jason, Richie, my mom, grandma. Let us all recite names of those we love and continue to love despite their deaths. There is a herd of deers in this room. They found the salt lick in your chest. From dry tears we have wept through the years. They found joy in being remembered. They found reason to prance right now in this poem, inside this room. My sis Arlene brought a deer into this room, and it appears everyone else has too. I want to recite all the words I know so that this poem can go forever, so that all these deers remain in here longer. But the journeys, all our journeys, are not limited to this poem, this room. We all know this. So we kiss these deers in this room in front of us. Bless this poem, bringing deers into this room. Bless the deers, finding room in us, even when this poem ends. I'm bringing home a baby bumblebee. Won't my mommy be very proud of me? Bee rested on me today as I sat on a bench. I did not notice until my friend Mike McGee pointed the little one out. They were still and I had nowhere to go. Did not know if this bee was ancestor, a spirit from Gaza, or simply a new soul, but I quietly prayed for the tiny one, called them friend, and felt blessed to experience this unexpected peace. We acknowledged each other, or at least I felt seen by this minute creature before me. I am a grown-ass man with an imagination that gets carried away. After about a half an hour of being this bee's home, my friend Mike tells me that it might be on its last legs. That is why the bee has been on me for so long. In my head, I wanted to grab a string, thread, sticks, and whatever to make a kite. Fly in memory, in hope, in constant connection. My heart still breaks for Rafik Alir and his family, for a whole country and its people killed, especially its children, and all those living between the river and sea, not knowing how far the arms of genocide will reach and annihilate all that we love and knew. Little bee, when you return to this life, I hope Palestine will be free and given everything to try to recover and heal. My little friend, tell me love is still valued enough and still worth breaking all the barriers that believe love should not exist. Your presence keeps me tender and wanting to remain a soft shoulder for all to feel rest. I do not know if you will fly again, but this poem is your kite, love. Flying for you and all that want to hope to be more than a dream, but a revolution, ready to wash out the fires of oppression. If you know like I know, you don't want to step to this. It's a G-Funk era, funked out with a gangster twist. If you smoke like I smoke, then you get high every day. If your ass is a buster, 213 will regulate. These streets are mine. I once cared, I could care less about these sidewalks, these buildings, this city. All I wanted to do was watch karate and kung fu movies. Even dressed up like my heroes when I did, that the world will gladly tell you when you are too much. They will make you small whenever they get the chance, shove you in containers until you get the point, punch your face in until you are toothless, remind you that you don't matter. They do not even bother to learn your name, mock you until you cry for them to stop. It's not enough that you feared them. They will try to destroy until you break, until you no longer believe in heroes, until all you want to do is be strong, enough to beat all their asses. I went to those karate classes. Each move I learned, I practiced over and over. I pictured faces. With each punch I threw, swung my kicks as though my shoe were ripped through those torsos. They still mock me. See me walking home, begging for me to show them my moves. Told me I was a fool going nowhere with this nonsense. Their knuckles gladly reminded me of how weak I was. They beat the fragile out of me, tortured me until they felt big enough to leave me alone. How I wish they finally finished the job already. Begged their punch would finally take me out of this world. Pray their kick would kill me already when death doesn't come. You first feel cursed on keep on living. Then you realize you are still standing. Still forced to keep on going. I still expected the beatings to come my way. Yet I no longer gave them the pleasure of seeing me flinch, seeing me squirm in pain. Hell, I hit them if I could. They beat me more. But I let them know I was here, still ready to get back up. One particular would always ask me if I had enough. I stared at his face, smiled, and shook my head no. He followed through by knocking my ass out. Then it happens. Your body grows. Your body grows stronger. Your body no longer takes anyone's shit. This dude who has been beating me up for years, who always asked me if I had enough, thought he was going to serve me my regular beating. But I remember his punches not hurting. Hell, I don't remember him landing any of his sorry punches. I do, though, remember landing mine. And look on his face when he realized my strength. The look on his face when he struck with fear. The look on his face when he felt powerless. Crowd of people began to gather around us. They watched as I pummeled him over and over. He was on the ground while I whispered to him, "Do you have enough?" I think he was trying to say sorry or I had enough, but I remember sounding like, "Show enough." Someone in the crowd shouted, "Show enough." Then everyone around started chanting, "Show enough." That is when I knew I would work to be the Shogun of Harlem. Once everyone heard, all these fools start coming at me harder as though I was still the one they beat before. Yet they all fell. They all had enough. They all knew my name. Am I the meanest? Am I the prettiest? Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town? Well, who am I? Who am I? I can't hear you. Are you still there? Please say yes to continue. Yes. Please continue. Ay, mariposa de amor, mi mariposa de amor, ya no restrego contigo. Ay, mariposa de amor, mi mariposa de amor, nunca jamás junto a ti. When you were a caterpillar, devoured across the garden, thought you would consume me, crawling against my stem only to feel you cocoon beneath some leaves. Song sounded sweeter. Sun's warmth felt glorious on my leaves. Even night skies spoke stories I never witnessed until your presence. Your company helped me feel I existed. Emerge out of your threads, a stranger butterfly where I could not go. Had no language to tell you to return. You only opened the secrets of my bloom. You drew the nectar of my letter, felt the softness of your wings against the lush of my petals. Knew this was not the lifetime, yet still we had this. Maybe the next we got. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk to you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. Dear sadness, visit again this morning. I had been scrolling, hopefully to get rid of you. Failed. I tried to avoid listening to sad songs, and although I had dodged these tunes, I feel I invited shame and loneliness. I'm afraid to lean into all of you. That I am uncertain what healthy boundaries look like with all of us. I let go my reluctance and kiss all of you on the forehead. Claim you all sacred lessons instead of haunting spirits. Felt this knot in my stomach I woke up to unfurl itself as I affectionately touch you all with tenderness. Grace visited us, felt their arms wrapped around me. Grace took on the image of my nana and mom, and I lose reasons to contain myself. Felt my mom, Richie, grandpa, and Uncle Boy release this tension on my neck with their hands. I tell all of them I miss them. Felt them all kiss me on my forehead. And I wanted to fight this feeling of sacredness, yet they held my face until I submitted to the truth. Felt the friends I lost become friends, finding themselves to me. Loneliness hugged them all until I was the only one left to hug, only to find myself in the body of loneliness, embracing the people whom I love. Ground collected these seeds falling out of all of us. Sadness let go of my hand, carried shame and dissolved into the earth. Flowers kissed my feet, tickled my legs, invited me to dance until I remembered all I tried to forget. Sang until I felt what was needed to be felt. Breathe until I was only air and wind. Pull the mountains, pull the ocean, pull the sky, pull the moon and sun. Surrendered till I was all the universe. Until I was nothing in its fullness. Sincerely, a vessel. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay up in the sun. Wandering free, wish I could be part of their world. Manatees use farts to help navigate themselves to the different depths of water. Beautiful, buoyant balloon balancing natural gases within to access the many different levels around. I have fart memories. I am not manatee with them though. I wish I was. I release and sink myself without thought, burying myself within these kelps, wanting to just drown myself there. Or I hold on, afraid I will never see surface again if I do, trying to ignore all these memories in me because it hurts to acknowledge they are there. I want to manatee better. Work with these farting memories and maybe get to these moments of vegetation ready to be eaten by me with delight. Hold on certain fart memories long enough so that they have reason and capabilities not to sulk myself into what feels abysmal. How natural these memories of farts, how sacred of an air to keep us afloat, to be let go enough to help us reach the places wanting us to arrive. Hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady, 'cause I'm a little unsteady. Hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady, I'm a little unsteady. In a women's lit class, there's an essay where a lady talks about hugging, how she grew accustomed to side hugs, how she felt she was an awkward person to hug because of her body. I felt less alone that day. I am perplexed the way young children know how to hug me properly. They do not forget I am big, yet they hug me in a way that makes me feel as I correctly fit in their world. I did not grow up in a hugging family. We hugged, not to the extent where it was daily occurrence. As children, I am sure we hugged all the relatives during parties, told to kiss and hug this auntie and that auntie, this Lola and that Lola. I do not remember hugging uncles or lolos. Maybe I did, or maybe it was awkward for them to be hugged by nephews or grandsons who were not immediate family. When my father would come home from the Coast Guard, I remember hugging him at airports, even kiss his cheek on returns. When he dropped me off to school, I would always kiss him goodbye until one day I left without kissing him. Grew to where this ritual between son and father felt embarrassing. My mother hugged my brother and I, hugged me after I was disciplined, brought me closer to help me understand why I received the pain. I learned how the body can produce oxytocin, how when you hold a person long enough, you can finally feel it. Told friends I wanted to hug them longer. Counted the seconds until our bodies released this trust we always had, solidified with this feeling of being held. I held my mother's hand until she could barely open her eyes open, watch her sleep away. When all I wanted is to be held by her once more, I jokingly hugged my father, squeezed him, trying to make him feel uncomfortable, until I felt him hug me, and that joke dissolved, became forgiveness and acceptance. Even if I did not feel it was permanent, it felt worth having. We held, did not have an agenda of breaking any cycles, but we broke enough to have this moment. End of mixtape. Please enter command. Enter Nanai. You have arrived. First time I learned to sleep peacefully alone in the dark room, my grandma, my Nanai, had just passed away. Before, as a child, I always had company, shared the floor with my brothers, shared bed with my Nanai, mom or dad, floor of my brother's room, my own bed, and shared room with my brother Sid. When I finally got my own room, did not know how to deal without it, without my bro or anyone immediately close by. Silence, too crowded within my own thoughts. Space never felt mine. Ghosts of many varieties invited over by fears I carried. Music I played to focus away to slumber. TV timer gave me 15, 30, 60, or 120 minutes to doze into hibernation. Some nights I would blindly reach for the remote to squeeze more time out of that tube. When I shared room with my Nana, I first reverted to child. Felt the peace of my memories of her taking care of me. Sleep felt nice. Nostalgia interrupted when she needed my assistance to get up from the bed. Asked me in the middle of the night. She saw my family members I physically missed. I learned to be present for her, learned to be more than fear for her, learned how to love differently, intentionally. After some months, My duties to watch over my grandma farm took its toll. I was weak. I was weary. Work and taking care of her drained me. My capacity sped. I asked my brother Sid and mom for help. I failed my nana and family. Slept by myself with music in my brother's room. Wish I was stronger for her. Did not know she would pass away less than a month later. First time I returned to my room, I felt the guilt of not being there for her. Did not sleep that night. Thought about the eulogy. Thought about Nana. Thought about my loneliness. Mom and Sid the next day gave me ease. Saw me not as less, but someone who loved Nana just as much as them. Next night, I remembered my grandma was spirit now. Did not mind if she visited. Wind chimed outside, softly danced to the breeze. Felt her protect me again. Gave company to a silence that used to always haunt me. Did not play music or left a TV on. I slept. Please input new entry. Enter joy. Esos bellos momentos, todos, todos, tus lindos ojos verdes, todos, todos, el fuego de tu cuerpo, todo, 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 todo. Seeing a father and son dance todo, todo on my Instagram feed. I want to replay continuously. Let this be prayer. Make this tenderness a proclamation. Rejoice in their smiles and claim heaven on a concrete driveway made into a dance floor today. Break all the bread, serve all the rice, serve all the tortillas, non-flatbread, until we are fed and nourished by this moment. Manifest this gospel lost amongst us. Violence of men shed wars we carry too long. In our congested chests, we armored with pride, with hurt, with illusions. We think our hearts need to protect this and sustain a way of dying. Bless this son and father, making softness exist amongst all the hardness constantly constraining us. Freedom that can belong to all, living in a joy that feels as if it should collapse from its own weight. But how love not let that happen. Input, new entry, random. Is this the lifetime where we were part of a reptilian race? Living on a planet with 6 moons, 4 broken from needless space wars, and 3 suns that kept slipping into orbit of each other, that we forget which galaxy we reside in. The one where we lost all our children from a plague, one where we lost each other because we wanted to be consumed with grief more than each other. One where we bit each other's tails off consensually, calling it foreplay, that led us to this blissful euphoria of pain and pleasure. One where we pretended to be the elite, only to take down this bougie root regiment. One where I went blind at one point, but woke up each morning pretending to look at your face each morning and called you gorgeous and stunning. One where you laughed and I peed involuntarily with joy from hearing it. One where, this isn't that lifetime, my bad. Input, new entry. Enter them. I attempted to recreate you, composing atoms and DNA from memory. I do not know where to put the gummy bears in this helix of you. So I linked with his swing ropes you once let go, felt flight beneath your body. I gathered all of these eggs that these dead butterflies laid since your absence. Made your skull with tomato leaves. Caterpillars flesh out your cheeks, forehead, and chin. Cocoons of silk unwind and dyed with nights you left wishes on. Pile these slices of pieces until they formed your spine. Watch cheese spread across, moving at the speed of neurons that you always shocked made with electric field. I opened a mostly empty jar of bacon that held these lattes, a few I collected. Chant them into the bellows of this accordion I used to make your belly. I touch the keys. They become your skin beneath my fingers. Rip all these cassettes, VHS tapes of movies you swore stole your emotions and stories. Mixtapes that these clones of tracks that connected you to the lovers and homies. Spooled ribbons I massage into until your muscles toned into flesh that I once remembered touching and holding. These hummingbirds and wrens flocking into my chest. I beg to migrate back to you. They do not. I watched them get lost into the open air. I quit remembering you. I exhaled. I knew I was not an alchemist of you. Flew a kiss to the sky, hoping it'd find its way to you. Decompose what I tried so hard to preserve. Let the earth and soil do what they have always done. Input, new entry. Enter the end, denied. Enter the end, denied. Enter the end, denied. Enter anywhere but here. Someday, you learn to be forced. When all that has been burned, take inventory of what is lost and what remains. Still feel bits of embers scattered through you, and it is difficult to get past being devastated from it all. Quit briefly trying to repair while all is still smoldering and safe. Submit. Become grief. Collapse. Implode into oneself. And crumble into a state of ashes. How can you even learn to hope again? Yet you omit the ending is even an option. Spores of mushrooms decay these hurt parts of ourselves. Fungus breaking down this state of confusion and pray you into emergence. Sun kiss you still, believes in your resiliency, believes you have always been timeless, and that is a speck to the infinity that you are. Feel the trees in you that have not been burned and still standing. Their branches outflesh this landscape of you again. Seeds in you sprout, adorn you earthly body with green leaves and ferns. Flowers burst out of your chest. Bees, birds, bears, and all woodland creatures return and call you habitable again. You bathe under the rain. Water touches you sacred. Eons of lifetimes awaken to be again in you. You, always a force.
Give it up for Lorenz. That was powerful. Y'all, if you want to bless Lorenz, you can throw some money towards Suzanne. We'll be giving Lorenz something to put in his pocket before he drives home tonight. I don't know if we're done with the list. I think we are done with the list. Aria, did you want to perform? Are you good? You good? Okay. We want to thank everybody who came out tonight. We love you. Thank you. We're ending it early. That's a wrap.
The one thing I can't, I try and
Leave my computer too.
You can disconnect everything except for the phone. What you guys usually do is my open mic is I leave just my laptop and everything else. Because then I get to pick the music
Right.
without giving control back to what's out. Once I get back to what's out.
Bye, Willow.
You have an amazing way with words.
Thank you.
I love.
I've been a poet for a really long time. I was raised and healed through these spaces and culture for so long. So you start to like breathe poetry like by then you live them long enough. So, thank you. I often don't take the time to like actually deliver them. I was just telling BC that sometimes you read them enough times, you just rush through them, and especially when you run the event, you're just like, you get called up last minute and you're not thinking and you don't give it its due. So he was just saying he's probably heard it like 12 times and yet he's never heard it.
I don't think I've heard that many times.
I've probably
I leave so early. A lot of people don't actually do it.
I've probably never in this space actually taken the time to deliver it like tonight, I think, honestly, all the times I've read it. Most of the time we have like 60 people in, or a full house, and it's a longer piece, so it's never within 5 minutes that I can actually take the time.
And you break the rules.
I can break the rules.
Yeah, you can. You get a little bit more.
Then other people would feel more.
Then everyone breaks the rules.
Right.
Well, then also, I have to hit our toes. So to actually take the time, well, it's autopilot right now, but like, I still don't, to add like, emotionally connecting to the, and if I actually read that poem, I'll cry like halfway through, even though it's like old.